The crisp autumn air provided the oxygen, the old wooden house provided the fuel, and an extension cord, run over by a vacuum cleaner earlier in the day, provided the spark. It had been 9 minutes since a neighbor made the call, 4 minutes since Armand Dubois gave up trying to start the ladder truck's engine. By the time the tanker trucks arrived and men leapt off to uncoil hoses and start the water pumps, tongues of flame licked the eaves and angry snaps and crackles peppered the sky with silver sparks and red embers. Larger, softer, black papery things swooped and fluttered in the thermals, catching in trees, dissolving into powder, as they landed on the clothing of those who watched from across the street. Smoke roiled in waves up the pitched roof and spiraled in loose gray funnels into a cloudy, leaden sky that withheld its rain. Built almost a century ago, the houses on Franklin Street followed a similar plan. Between the sitting room on the right and the dining room on the left, a staircase led from a small square entranceway to 3 bedrooms on the second floor. As they watched in horror and fascination, neighbors envisioned the flames devouring their own homes, the fabric of their own lives. Those from a few blocks over gave thanks their houses were made of brick. The fire arched and twirled with the passion of a flamenco dancer, its orange and red skirts consuming the furniture, catching the new curtains. It advanced to press against the glass, shattering the dining room windows, sucking in a great gulp of oxygen, before belching a bolus of fire onto the narrow front porch, then retreating momentarily to tear upstairs and mock the crowd from the front bedroom window. Wyatt Beauclair, the only member of the Comfrey Volunteer Fire Brigade to draw a modest salary, and thus the de facto captain, had been taking a nap with his baby daughter when his pager went off. Her teething was wearing on the both of them. He took the stairs 3 at a time, burst through the front door, and leapt over the boxwood hedge, yelling over his shoulder to his father, "Fire on, Franklin! Half a can of formula in the fridge. No more Tylenol till 6. The elder Beauclair stopped raking leaves and walked out into the street. As he watched his son disappear into the station house half a block down, he sniffed the air and scanned the sky. Smoke gathered 7 blocks over. No fire hydrants in that old neighborhood. He had been a firefighter. He knew 2 tanker trucks, a small water tender, and 8,000 gallons of water wouldn't be enough to put out a wooden house fire. Save people, protect neighboring homes, that would be the best they could do. His granddaughter bellowed from inside the house, and he allowed himself a proud grin, since there was no one around to see it. Little one had a good set of lungs. He'd go inside, change her, fix her a bottle, and resist the temptation to take her over to watch the blaze. It wouldn't hurt her none, but his son wouldn't like it. So he'd just put her on his back in that baby carrier, and she could grab at his hair with her chubby little fists as he finished his raking. The Dubois brothers on hoses, 400 gallons per minute, 4 men around the back holding a tarp as a net. Without the ladder truck, they hadn't a hope of reaching the man desperately trying to open the back bedroom window, or the woman at his side with a baby in her arms. "Break it!" the fireman yelled up to the man. "Break it!" A shoe. Why didn't he use a shoe? An elbow? A fist? They looked at each other in confusion. He was taking too long. It was glass. Just glass. Didn't he know he was out of time? The man held up a hand, as if asking them to wait, and disappeared. Presuming he'd turn away to grab something to break the window, they readied their net. But he must have opened the door to the hall, for suddenly a brilliant flash of light filled the room, and one of the firemen let out a long, anguished, "No!" The woman, a black silhouette against the flame, shouted something down to the men below and bowed her head. Then for a moment, just a moment, she held her baby up high, before they both slid from view.